Tonight, we sleep in ancient Rome. Tonight, you're going to sleep in ancient Rome. Not the Rome of marble statues and triumphant emperors. Not the Rome of glorious victories and golden temples. But the Rome that ordinary people experienced after sunset, when the crowd slowly disappeared into shadow and the city revealed its true self. As darkness falls over the ancient world, the streets begin to cool beneath thousands of tired footsteps. The last merchants pull wooden shutters across their shops. Smoke drifts upward from crowded kitchens. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barks into the night. Oil lamps flicker behind narrow windows. Voices echo through stone alleys. And above the city, beneath the warm Mediterranean sky, more than 1 million people prepare to sleep. But sleeping in ancient Rome was nothing like sleeping today. There were no soft mattresses, no electric fans, no insulative walls, no peaceful silence. The night was filled with danger, noise, heat, smoke, insects, arguments, drunken singing, and the constant fear of fire. For the poor, sleep came inside crowded apartment buildings where entire families squeezed together into single dark rooms. For the wealthy, sleep came beneath painted ceilings and expensive blankets, though luxury did not always bring peace. Tonight, we will experience all of it. We will walk through the noisy streets after dark. We will climb the dangerous staircases of Roman apartment blocks. We will lie awake beside flickering oil lamps while carts thunder through the city below. We will discover what Romans wore to bed, what their mattresses felt like, what sounds filled their nights, and why many people feared the darkness itself. Because ancient Rome never truly slept. It only rested for a few uneasy hours before another exhausting day began. So dim the lights, settle comfortably, and let us drift slowly back nearly 2,000 years to a long Roman night. Chapter 1. The city that never truly slept. Ancient Rome was loud, very loud. During the daytime, the streets overflowed with merchants, laborers, slaves, politicians, travelers, beggars, and animals. The city was crowded almost beyond imagination. Historians believe that at its height, Rome may have held more than 1 million people. That made it one of the largest cities on earth. And when night arrived, the noise did not simply disappear. In fact, for many Romans, nighttime could feel even louder. Because heavy wagons and carts were often banned during the day to reduce congestion, many deliveries took place after sunset instead. As ordinary citizens tried to sleep above the streets, iron-rimmed wheels crashed against stone roads below. The sound echoed through narrow alleys. Wood creaked. Animals snorted. Drivers shouted. Some Roman writers complained bitterly about the sleepless nights of the city. The poet Juvenal once described Rome as nearly impossible to sleep in. And it was not only the carts. Taverns remained open late into the evening. Drunken customers stumbled through the streets. Arguments broke out. Musicians played. Dogs barked endlessly. Some nights, violent fights erupted outside apartment buildings. Other nights, travelers arriving late searched loudly for lodging. A home smelt alive. Smoke drifted from cooking fires. Sweat filled crowded alleyways. Rotting garbage sat near buildings. Public toilets overflowed. And somewhere nearby, someone was almost always shouting. Imagine trying to sleep through all of that. You lie on a thin mattress stuffed with straw. The room is warm. Mosquitoes buzz near your face. Voices rise from the street below. A baby cries somewhere behind the wall. Then suddenly, a wagon rattles across the stone road outside. The entire building trembles. This was normal. For many Romans, uninterrupted sleep was a luxury. And yet, somehow, the people of Rome adapted. They had no choice, because tomorrow would arrive quickly, and another exhausting day awaited. But before we can truly understand Roman sleep, we first need to understand where most Romans actually lived. Chapter 2. Where ordinary Romans slept. Most Romans did not live in beautiful villas. They lived inside crowded apartment buildings called insulae. These buildings rose several stories high above the packed streets of the city. From a distance, they may have appeared impressive. but living inside them was often uncomfortable, dangerous, and exhausting. The poorest citizens usually lived near the top floors. That meant climbing narrow staircases every single day. No elevators, no running water, and no escape from the summer heat trapped beneath the roof. The higher apartments were smaller and cheaper. Some were barely large enough for an entire family. Inside, there might only be a small table, a few storage jars, some blankets, and a simple mattress laid directly on the floor. Privacy barely existed. Thin walls allowed every sound to pass between rooms. Neighbors argued. Children cried. People coughed through the night. And because many apartments lacked proper kitchens, smoke from cooking fires often drifted through the building. The air inside could become thick and unpleasant. At night, oil lamps provided dim lighting. Their flames flickered constantly. The smell of burning oil lingered in the room. For poorer Romans, bedtime was not peaceful. Entire families often slept together in one cramped space. Parents beside children, sometimes servants nearby, occasionally even animals. During summer, the rooms became suffocatingly hot. During winter, cold air slipped through cracks in the walls. And then there was the fear. Roman apartment buildings were infamous for collapsing. Some landlords used cheap materials. Others added unsafe upper floors to increase profits. Fires spread quickly. A single overturned lamp could destroy an entire building. So even while trying to sleep, many Romans lived with quiet anxiety. Would the building survive the night? Would thieves enter? Would fire spread through the wooden beams? The wealthy often mocked these crowded apartment blocks. But for ordinary Romans, they were simply home. And after long days of labor, many citizens climbed the dark staircases carrying tiny lamps, entered their cramped rooms, and prepared for another restless night above the noisy streets of Rome. Chapter 3. The Roman Bed Itself. Now let us look more closely at the Roman bed. Because sleeping in ancient Rome did not mean sinking into soft modern mattresses. Comfort depended almost entirely on wealth. Poor Romans often slept on simple straw-filled sacks placed directly on the floor. The stuffing flattened quickly. Dust gathered easily, and insects loved hiding inside the fabric. Some mattresses were filled with wool, others with reeds, hay, or scraps of cloth. The wealthy could afford feather-filled bedding, though this was rare. Roman beds themselves were usually wooden frames. Across the frames stretched ropes or woven supports that held the mattress above the ground. Without modern springs, the sleeping surface could feel uneven and stiff. Pillows existed, but not everyone owned them, and many were much firmer than modern pillows. Blankets were typically made from wool, heavy, warm, and sometimes itchy. During winter, families shared bedding for warmth. During summer, many Romans slept with very little covering at all. Cleanliness was another problem. Washing bedding regularly required water, labor, and time. Many poorer citizens simply could not maintain perfectly clean sleeping spaces. Fleas and bedbugs were common. Roman writers occasionally complained about insects hiding in mattresses. Imagine lying down after a long day. The room is dark except for a flickering oil lamp. The mattress smells faintly of smoke and sweat. You can hear distant voices through the wall. The wool blanket feels rough against your skin. And somewhere inside the bedding, tiny insects move quietly in the darkness. This was ordinary Roman sleep. Not luxurious, not peaceful, but deeply human. People still dreamed. They still rested. They still pulled blankets around exhausted children and closed their eyes after difficult days. Even in the greatest city of the ancient world, sleep remained fragile. Chapter 4. Sleeping Rich. Inside the homes of the elite. Of course, not everyone in Rome slept in cramped apartments. The wealthy lived very differently. Inside large villas and elegant townhouses, elite Romans created private worlds of comfort and status. Their homes often surrounded open courtyards filled with fountains and gardens. Painted walls displayed scenes from mythology. Mosaic floors shimmered beneath oil lamps. Bedrooms were called cubicula. Some were surprisingly small, designed mainly for sleeping rather than daily living. But compared to the crowded insulae of the poor, they felt luxurious. Beds were raised higher above the floor. Frames could be decorated with ivory, bronze, or expensive carvings. Fine blankets covered soft mattresses. Before bed, wealthy Romans often followed elaborate evening routines. They visited bathhouses, used scented oils, ate long evening meals while reclining on couches. Servants attended to their needs. Slaves might prepare the bedroom, trim lamp wicks, arrange blankets, bring water, or guard the entrance through the night. Yet wealth did not remove anxiety. Many elite Romans feared political enemies. Assassinations were not uncommon. A wealthy senator might sleep lightly, wondering who secretly hated him. Some noble families kept guards nearby. Others locked doors carefully before sleeping. And even luxurious homes could not fully escape the sounds of the city. Somewhere outside the villa walls, Rome still roared. The wealthy slept more comfortably than the poor. But peace of mind remained difficult to find, because ancient Rome was powerful but never truly safe. Chapter 5. The Roman Night Routine. For Romans, the evening followed familiar rhythms. As the sun slowly disappeared, daily life began to change. The intense heat of the afternoon faded. Shadows stretched across the streets, and families prepared for the final meal of the day. Dinner was often the largest meal. Poor citizens ate simple foods: bread, olives, vegetables, porridge. The wealthy enjoyed elaborate banquets with wine, fish, fruit, and expensive spices. Elite Romans reclined while eating. Conversation flowed late in.